Today we're going to create the FORTNITE plane, and I don't know what it's called. It's the Storm X6. Anyway, here we're going to create the FORTNITE plane from Chapter 2, Season 5. So, as you can see, guys, we're going to start with a little bit of this light blue clay. I'm not sure what it really is, but we're going to start cutting it. Since we are going to do the plane, you also need to get the shape of this circle area in the front with the nose carrot. Just called the nose carrot. But so as you can see, we are using the circlish tool, also blending some parts to make the shape right. And I know it doesn't look too good, but at the end it will look very good. Okay, so this is what you're supposed to do here, and I'm just fixing things here because it doesn't really look too blending in those holes there. And alright, that's what we have here, and it looks a little flat. I'm gonna change it around. Now, next thing we need to do, guys, is also make the shape of it longer. It's because we have more details to have, like, the wings of the plane. So just having extra details here. Okay. And, if you guys really want me to do more videos like this, just tell me in the comments below. And over here, we have we're just doing some more extra details. Making the shape long enough so then we can actually do some details on it. Because there are quite a lot of details on the plane. But don't worry, we will make those details. And the rest of them we will use Copics as permanent markers to make the details on the plane. Okay, so now we have this shape over here. We have to make it longer because there are going to be planes. Wings over here. So make a circle in the middle, and there it is. Now what we're going to do next, after we do it, I'm still making the shape, but I was just a little too overwhelmed by doing this. And there you go, guys, we're just making it a little more circle-ish, just to be easier to make. And now we have some orange clay. Now we're going to use this for the carrot nose. This is pretty much the funniest one, and you can probably see how I did the details on this thing, because this was pretty funny. So I'm going to take some orange clay and shape it into a nose. So then you can later on attach it to the actual plane. It's a little too big. I think we should cut a little bit. So yeah, there were I think 2 outtakes of this one. Overall it's a very good. It's very okay, but it was overall not too hard to make it. I'm just made a little bit faster. So that's the nose. Let's see what I have here. There it is. I made a bigger nose. And there we go, guys. Next thing, you have to place that nose on the plane itself. And now that we got it, we can now perform this thing over here. And we're making it a little more bigger, so then the nose can, we can easily see the nose. Then you might want to take that piece of carrot there and place it onto the plane. And there you go, guys. It looks good already. A thumbs up. Now we're going to take that out because we are actually using this over here, and I'm rubbing those lines of the tool to make the details of the carrot. And that worked out quite nicely, I thought. Yeah, as you can see, it worked out quite nicely for the carrot. And, yeah. So here's the carrots. And now we have it right there. That's the plane. Just making some extra fixes on it. And now that we have to take it out because we have other things to do. And that's why we need some gray clay. And this gray clay we're going to use for the interior of the plane itself. I tried doing it on the mat, but then I realized that, as you can see, it broke off. So I thought just doing it manually would work out. And as you can see, it did. So next we're going to place it on top of the plane. I'm not sure you can see it. But we also need, like I said before, guys, we need some gray clay. And we need to make it very flat. Thinner as you can, very flat, and then you're supposed to put it inside the plane for the interior. Now, again, we're going to use this circle tool, I'm going to call it, and just to make it more blended in and more like it's actually inside the plane. Just a little bit of details on the circle, and next we have, guys, we're going to use this tool, obviously, to make those little details inside. There are a couple of circles we have to draw on the clay, but I thought I would do this after oven hardening. But honestly, I just thought that, we really didn't need it at all. So You should see me out of nowhere just bail it out at one point. You can do it if you want. If you guys have a sharp tool or anything that can easily draw through, it didn't work out for me with my tools. But if you guys have something like it, you can easily do. If you guys think you can do it, then go ahead. I'm not to judge you. Alright, so you can't see it right now, but we're doing the circles on the plane. It was not too easy. This creation was a little bit hard because I had to do the Christmas lights and then the boosters, and then yeah, the whole creation was just tedious. And there it is. As you can see, it does not look good. So I also tried to do more details, but then as you can see, I just realized I took the circle tool and I just didn't go with it because I didn't really like how it went. So yeah, I just did that. And I just did a couple of dots there and I went with it. Alright, now we have changed it to aluminum foil. And we need a small bit of light gray clay. And this is going to be for the interior. There are some lines inside of the plane that go. That's why we took out the carrot nose, because we need to put these on first. So I'm just putting the right size here. And it's just something sticks off, guys. But, here it is. Don't worry. It looks pretty bad now. And I fixed it up, guys. So, what we're supposed to do next is we are supposed to get some more light gray clay. And we're basically making the frame inside of the plane. So, that's what it should do. Some more railings. So, I needed quite a lot of gray clay. I had to scam a little bit, but I have a brand new clay pack. So, don't worry, I'll probably have a lot of bigger colors than this. And I'm not going too over the board with this one. And because, as you can see, I'm going to use, the blending tool, as you can see, one of my tools here, just to blend in those lines and make them a little more straighter. So I'm not sure if you can see it right now, but I'm making the lines straight. That's what you should do with your creation. Just making the frame look like it's not cut up into different pieces, but this is how it should look like. Pretty good. Just having some extra details. And now we can place the carrot nose, I think. Is it time? Doing the voice. Yes, it is time to place the carrot nose, and that looks really good. Alright, so now we've done the shape and the inside of the plane. I think it's time to move on right onto the, I don't know what you call those spinning things on the plane. I don't know what they're called. Tell me in the comments. But there's 3 of them on the plane, so this is what we are making with clay right now. And, we're using the knife to cut up those blades. And we're going to make a little bit of a shape. It was not too hard to make the shape, honestly. Because my knife isn't like an X-Acto knife. It wasn't hard to make it. So, then we will easily be able to do it. That's one of them, guys, and yes, and I did 3, just symbolizing, guys, that you should make 3 more of these, and yeah, and there it is, we are making more of them, and I just laid off on it right now, actually, and once you're done making them, now you're going to make the actual, what do you call it, I don't know if you can see it, but I actually went off on it, and I decided to make new ones, so that one was too small. And this one, 3 of them, as you can see, you're supposed to make 3 of those blades. And now we need some red clay to make, there is a red pattern on these blades. I had a hard time making this one. Since considering that the clay was very sticky, it sometimes sticked on my hand, and it didn't go too well, as you can see. And yeah, it was not big enough. It didn't cover, like, the entire top. And you're going to see later, we might glue it. We're going to glue it onto the frame of the inside of it. I'll show you what you mean after we're done creating the clay. And we're going to glue it, those propellers, after hardening. So yeah, I went with new red clay. This time I went like that. And yeah, this one, it worked nicely. Very nicely. And there you go. You're supposed to then take some red clay, as you can see, and place the red clay into shape, blending tool, and basically place it on top of one of the blades. You can call it, I'm not sure. I don't know what it's called. But you place the blades, And this is what it should look like. And yes, do two more of these guys, and there you go. So you're supposed to do the same for all of them. And now you're going to leave them alone because we're putting some lines, details on those little planes, on those little blades, I'm going to call them. And there they are. Now we're going to turn the plane shape on its back because we're going to make this triangle thing on the back of the plane. I'm not familiar with plane parts at all. But we're going to use some the same color used for the interior and the blades. It's very light blue clay. Very, very light blue. I don't know what it's called, but it's very, very light blue. And here we are making the triangles, I'm guessing. I don't know what to call it. But, yeah, for this one, I actually made it way smaller than it was originally. So, you're going to see in a second, you can see how small it is. And last minute, I just realized that this is too small. That it has to go, it's just way too small. It looked good overall. And, yeah, we're doing them. The top is the same part. Top is also red. So I'm just making it flat here. And we're going to place some red. So, just like the blade, similar. We have some red on that little area. I flattened it out. Get a very thin layer. And cut in the same overall shape. But it's a little more slanted, you can say. I don't know what these are called again. And as you can see, I soon found out while I was creating with the clay that this is way too small. Because the plane, you see in the end result, you could see that I will do it much bigger and that one will work out, the new version. And yes, this is too small. As you can see, I'm trying to stick it on. We have a little bit of... I'm having a lot of trouble. Because I generally have a lot of trouble trying to get the shape. And at this moment, I think I'm pretty much in realization that, well, this thing is just way too small. It won't work out at all. Okay, we have it. And as you can see, it's way too small at this moment. I don't know if I even got a realization with it, but at this moment, I think I did. I'm not sure. I did that to blend it in. You should do it too, but I don't think you should follow this small one because this was not the one that I ended up doing in the end. Okay. And I'm making details because I think this one's going to be the one, but as soon as I put into it, I realized that it's way smaller and way bigger. Yeah, wait a second. As you can see, now I am actually putting it there. Let us, it's the video. I'm voicing over it. Let's skip it over here. As you can see, I was about to make the other sides, and this was make a flat layer of light blue clay. And this was the time when I realized that that one is too small, the triangle thing. And, wait for it, and wait for it. It's gonna come soon, guys. It will come soon. Wait. Do I know that this will soon be? Okay, yeah, wait for it, guys. And this is when I create the new version of the triangle thing. It just made it a little more thinner, so it should work now. And yeah, so you see? No, there it is. This thing is gone. Now we're making the new age. We're making the brand new version of the triangle thingy on the X6 FORTNITE planes. I'm just going to call it the FORTNITE plane. I don't know what to call it. And like you see, it looks pretty good. But we have some details to do, obviously. We have a lot of details. Right now I'm placing it to see if it works well. And it does work very well. So now we're going to make some details. Because there are some... Yeah, that went wrong. But as I was saying, we're going to make some details with red clay. And this is what we're using, this brand new red clay over here. we're going to take some red clay, opening up the package. And this is the color that we're going to use for the other red details on the plane and so on. Okay, now we have this. We're going to mix it, and you see we have gotten the shape in. My shirt. And yeah, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. Little details on it, and it worked. This is what you should get as an end result. And we're going to place it onto the plane. You can't see it. There it is. There's the triangle thing. I'm pretty sure this thing is used to stabilize the plane in some way while it's flying. But yeah, now we can take some more of this bright blue. And you can't see it, but you have to make it very thin. So there are, I'm just gonna call it the triangle contraption. Well, there are two other wings on the triangle thingy that we just made, and that's what I'm creating here. Again, we use the same color, and we need to cut up the clay so then it can work properly. And after we're done, guys, we're going to make some details with permanent markers, which is, because you guys are wondering how I actually haven't done the little snowman dough on the plane or the other metal details. That is all. We're going to do all of that with permanent markers. Just stay till the end. We will do that. And this is one of the wings. The things, I'm going to call it. This is how it should be. Two more, guys. Make two of these with the bright, and obviously, we need some red clay. We're going to make it very thin, and we're also going to clean up space a little bit because it's very dirty, just to bring it more into the camera. And then we're going to make the red details on top of it. And this is a very thin red outline on the area, so that's why you'll see it differently. But yeah, make an outline on top of it. I'm just placing it. And you could see it in a second. Just wait. And there it is. I'm just cutting it up so it looks better. This is what you should do. Like an outline on the area. Okay. Then the same thing for this one. The other one, as you can see. I'm showing the camera. This red outline. Same thing for that one. And here you go. Now we can finally place it. We got to make it smaller because it's not, at the moment, it's too big to sustain itself on the triangle thing we made before. And I'm placing it onto the triangle thing. And that thing got stuck. Okay. Alright. Okay. And there you go. That's how it should look. It looks pretty good. Really good. I like that, just fixing it up a little bit because it doesn't look too pleasant, but now it does. We can finally move on to the next step. Right. Now, we're just making this a little bigger. Now get, again, the same color. We're using this color a lot in this tutorial. This very, very bright blue, the same blue we've been using for pretty much the entire tutorial. And these are going to be the wings of the plane. And so how it works is there are two of them on the bottom. And there are these gray, bars that on top of the bars, there's another wing on top of it. So I'm not sure if you know the design of the plane, but there it is. So that's how you do it. There are a lot of cuts on my aluminum foil. I apologize. And now we're going to find out how to do it here. So we're not going to attach them right on it. So just realize. And yeah, the same thing here. You're going to make 3 more of these, and there you go. That's what you do. 4 of them, as I'm demonstrating. And again, more red clay. Now, if we want to flatten it out like this, and you want to take, again, a very thin line. Now, you might just think it's the same as the 2 wings on top of the triangle thing, but it's actually, they're different. There are the lower wings of the plane and the upper wings of the plane. The lower wings have the red, as you can see, halfway, or close to being halfway. We'll have red close to being halfway, and the rest of it is the bright blue. And as you can see, and the top of it is mostly red. There's little bits of little bits of blue, and there's mostly red on the wing, which you will soon see. Now I'm just cutting up because I just noticed it's the wrong shape. And the same thing for, these are the bottom wings. Again, I told you the half ones, the ones that are half red or a quarter of red, and the rest of them are the bright blue. And those are the lower wings. Now for the upper wings, it's just still maintain that flattened out thin layer of red clay, because we're going to make the upper wings now. And at this moment, the red is more than the amount of blue there is on the wing. So occasionally you're going to want to I'm just not showing the camera right now. You're going to want to, as you can see, get more red than the other one, and this time the wing extends the blue. So there's not you're supposed to make the wing longer with the red clay. That's why it wasn't so long before. And yeah, the same thing for the other wing. The same process. Get a very thin layer of red clay. I'm getting new because the other one was wasted. Not wasted, it has a good cause. But I used it on the wing. And what you're supposed to do now is you're now going to attach it. So there it is. Again, same process. And those are the wings. I'm cutting a little bit since it does seem a little too long. And now I'm flattening it out. And we are done with those wings. Now we're going to take a knife. And we're going to make, as you can see, magic powers. As you can see, we're going to make those detailed little lines on the plane. So, yeah, the magic. And however, the other ones have the same lines, but they have lines going diagonally. So, they're diagonal and horizontal lines. Take some very dark, black, grayish clay. And these are going to be sustainers. We're going to place 2 flat areas on the wings. So then we can put the bars that are going to attach the 2 wings together. And here it is. I'm just using it right now. We're going to use the blending tool to kind of separate them a little. And now we're placing the bars. That's what they will look like. Here it is. And the same thing for the other lower wing. I'm just getting some clay. Yeah, we did it there. There it is. Let's do the same process for the other lower wing. Now we're going to take some slightly darker clay, maybe more black, you can say. And this is going to be for, what do you call it? The thing that fires on the plane. You've probably noticed it. So we're going to cut this on a thin layer, like a thin layer of the same color. This is darker, probably. And we're going to use this. This is the base. And there it is. Make it a little flatter, make the shape. And I'm just testing how it will be. So that's perfect. It will work perfectly on there. We're going to place it down so we can do the rest of the details on it. So now we're going to make one more layer on top of it. And these are the 2 things that fire, the 2 of them. And making the details. And then place a little bit of clay at the edges of those things that fire. And some details with my knife. Very good details. Make some details on the things that fire as well. The shooters. Shooters from over there. We had a line on top of the base. And you should be good to go. And we're going to make some more details on the line with the knife and the shooters. And that's it for the shooters. We are good to go. Now, we're going to use this red clay for this supposed, what do you call it? There is, here we go. There is some sort of a line, a red line around the plane that we can do. Okay, so you're going to cut it out like this. And this is the line that is going to go on the plane that we're going to attach. As you can see, I'm just working on how to do it. And wait for a second, my hand is in the way. I should really work on this more. And there you go. That's where it should go. This little outline. Alright, more details with the blending tool. A little bit of lines on it. And I think it's the time. We'll soon do the lights. Now, I don't know if you see, you use the circle tool. This is a metal one. And we're using that now. We're going to make the driver's seat. So use a blending tool, as you can see, to make a hole on it. Take a circle tool or anything you maybe want to do it, and make, as you can see, a little hole there for the driver's seat. Then take some slightly light brown clay. Do you want to flatten it out? Just so it's perfect enough. And wait for it. And there it is. Place it inside of the hole. Then take a blending tool and basically blend it inside. Basically even it out within the driver's seat. So it would be easier to do. Alright, so far we're doing really, really good. Just use your blending tool to basically make it larger and spread it out evenly. Now this is the driver's seat. And it's pretty slanted, so that's why I tried to make it. So you need a knife. And we're going to use the knife to put the line right on there. I just used the reference as I did before on Google search. Taking those lines out, and we're going to use the line here. This is the driver's seat. So we're going to place it on the plane, on the front mostly. There it is. We're going to use that to blend in the driver's seat within the brown clay that we have originally. It looks good. And early on, we're going to add, maybe now, but we're going to add an outline around the box. Take some same color, and we're going to outline the back of the plane like this. Alright, now we're going to do, this is going to be, I'm really excited for this one. This is going to be the little, what do you call it? The wheels. So you might notice that they're brown. So take some brown clay. If you have black, you can do it black, but I don't have black as a color, so I use it on the shooter. So I'm gonna, after oven hardening, we're gonna use a Sharpie to make it black. So this is for the wheels. Then take a really thin tool and basically make some details with it. Make the details of the actual wheel so we can do it. There it is, as you can see. Now, there are actually these, what do you call it? There's these things that the wheel is hanging or on. The wheel is on this specific object. So that's what we're going to make out of clay right now. We're going to, after oven hardening, we're going to take it out. And we're going to glue it on to the wheel. And this is the other one over here. There it is. Get flatter. This is where we'll go after oven hardening. Now we're going to take some of this slightly gray clay, and this is going to be for the Christmas lights. The Christmas lights on the top and the bottom of the wings. Oh, not that. Not yet. So take some of that, and this is going to be for these wires. There's these tubes, I think, on the top of the plane. And is it now time for it? I made a new tube because that one wasn't quite too stable. Now take some of this brown clay and make it thin. This is, finally, I made it wrong before. This is for the Christmas lights. You have some red and green. So like this, you're going to place them on the wings. Doing right now, and just do the rest for them. So we're placing the Christmas. This is the string. I was gonna use real string, but I didn't have any. So this is gonna be for the little. This resembles the string that Christmas lights are hanged upon. All right, so I'm just placing it, and we're also using a little bit of details on. Now we have one more wing to do it on, and we're doing it right there. Okay, we're done. Oh, there you go. Now we're making those wires a little bit slanted, as you can see. Now take some red clay, and this is what we're going to mix the colors to make the lights. So also take some of this darkish green, and we're going to use some white. I know it's a little dirty, but we're going to use it. So mix some of this, divide the white into two, mix the red, as you can see. There's a light red right there. And also mix the green with the white. That's what we're going to use for the Christmas lights. And also take a brighter green for the green and mix the brighter green with the current green to get the Christmas lights color. Now, it's the fun part. We're going to attach all the Christmas lights onto the plane of the string right there. This is going to be very fun. We're doing the Christmas lights, everyone. We're going to do them. So now, we're going to take some of this green clay. Obviously, this is a pattern you're going to do on the plane. And, boop. Hold on a second. I think it'd be pretty fun to do the Christmas lights right now. Alright. We're doing the Christmas lights right now on top of the plane. And we're using the same. I don't think I should stop showing this because I think you get the point. So we're going to do one of the planes and we're going to mimic the other pattern on the other side of the plane. Right. Now make it also for this one. Like that. Also for this one. And also for this color over here. So now we need some very, very bright blue. The same blue that we haven't used for a while. And these are going to be for the boosters. These are the things that boost the plane. I'm not sure if you've seen them before particularly. But now we're going to use the circle tool. We're basically going to create an even space so we can place some orange and yellow clay inside to make a little effect for the boosters. I'm not sure if any of you guys have used the planes in this new update. I certainly haven't. Well, me and Stormy have gotten the plane before, but we kind of crashed it at one point. So it was terrible. So we tried to use it, but, well, we crashed. And because I'm not really good at planes. I wasn't really particularly good at planes in Season 7, but, you know, I don't know if I'll ever be able to use them. Now we're using this orange clay, so make those little holes, like little mouths, a little bit. And now we're going to use the blender. Okay, so this is what you're supposed to do. Put some orange clay, and evenly spread out with the circle tool. It's a smaller circle tool. So we have it here. Blending it out. And there it is. Then take some yellow clay. We're going to see in a second. And this is going to be on the actual same thing. It looks like an eye at one point, actually. So, we're going to blend it in using the same circle tool. These boosters. And just mimic the same thing for this one. It's pretty much the same thing. Okay, now I can say we're going to do the same thing for the boosters. And we're going to place the boosters overall on these sides here. These two sides, basically. So, and now, guys, the final thing we're going to do is there's this green thing, and we're going to do details on it. But now, we're going to put it in oven hardening, and let's see what happens. So then you have to place it in the oven.
They don't need to see my finger. Esto. Esto. You needed something to balance it.
Are you recording?
Esto. Esto.
And that's it, guys. Look at this. This is the plane from Fortnite. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys another day.